Okay, folks, we might get our celebration and our annual awards for 2018 2019 underway. Reduced by Barry Farun go and shifts and is Monsieur Marchino Gormley and Stuart Sculna de. So, first of all, you're all very welcome here today to our annual awards ceremony 2018-2019, and not alone are we here in the room here in the Radisson Hotel, Letterkenny. We're also being live streamed out on the internet, and it's gone out live on Facebook. So just a big hello you can say to all the schools and centres listening to us. So if we say hi from Letterkenny, hello! So that's just a big hello to all the centres and schools who are watching us. And no doubt teachers and students and parents have some interest in proceedings today. Now, to get matters underway today, we have a short performance. And I suppose what we're trying to do today is to showcase the amount of work that goes on in ETB schools and centres right across this great county of ours. And there was no better way to do that than we extended an invitation to Garmschool Cuala out from Balnamore, post-primary, Donegal ETB school, one that we're all very proud of. They're an all-Irish school, and we have a selection of students here today to perform an Irish song, Magillawara, I think it's called, and it stands for My Gallant Darling. So any of you that are in a bit of the romantic mood tonight, perhaps you could pass those short words and see how you get on. All right, so without further ado, I'd like you to show a very warm welcome to our students from Garmschool Cuala. I think at the current times you hear a lot about Brexit, and I think we're proud Europeans, but deep down we're very proud of our Irish culture, and I think no better way to celebrate it today. That was Marini Warchin on the lead vocals there, and I think Ashley Vale was on the cajon there. That looked like the bedside locker that she was banging there, and I think Ethan Gettigan there on the keyboard. So well done to the students there, and I know that Kieran Rogers, the principal, is watching out in Garmskull Cuala. I think he'd be very proud, and Katrina Solon, the music teacher. Unfortunately, Katrina's not here today because of an open day in Garmskull Cuala, and it's all hands on deck there. So, but we have a lot of the staff there. I'm sure are very proud there. Seamus O'Farry, Ethan Nash, Noreen O'Gonal, Elizabeth O'Gonal and Kunter Janga, and Roseanne Gallagher are with the students from Garmskull Cuala. So one more round of applause for the students from Garmskull Cuala. So I suppose our annual awards are a very important occasion for Donegal ETB. And I suppose, like in all educational institutes and schools, you often hear of the us and them. The us being the teachers and them being the students. But I think what we're trying to promote in Donegal ETB, right across our schools and centres, is the we. It's not about us, it's not about them, it's about we. And I think this here demonstrates the importance of that there. We see our slogan here in front of us, we are Donegal ETB. We're proud of what we're doing. Our students, our staff working side by side, and you can see the standard of projects throughout the hall today. I think, you know, every year you come back here and it improves, it excels. And one of the important things is you talk to students at the stands there, and they're so passionate, they're so articulate, they have prepared for this here. And we're involved in a lot of projects there where we're working along with employers. And employers talk about, you know, the skills they're looking for. They're looking for qualifications, but what they're looking for is people who are good communicators, people who can work as a team, are flexible, are creative, are innovative. And you can see all of those attributes are demonstrated here as part of our annual awards. And I think we're very proud of both our young students in our schools and our adult learners scattered throughout our centres. And you can see the amount of projects we have from that particular cohort this year has improved substantially, and we have a lot of projects there. So well done to all. And I think the students who have presented here today, thank you. To the judges and the adjudicators, it has been a tough time going around trying to make those decisions. Again, I thank you sincerely for your time in terms of taking that and sharing your expertise with us, and we'll be hearing more from them. So, without further ado, I'm going to call on our Chief Executive, Anne McHugh, to say a few words at the annual awards.
Gormaigot Martin Falcher Riv Aleg Kuji Ostan and Radisson and you. Really delighted to be here, and it's always, I suppose, there's always a few red letter days in our calendar, and this is certainly one of them. It's a fantastic day. We have a few days during the year when we get to celebrate. And I was just thinking this morning, lots of bad news. Martin mentioned Brexit, and I won't mention all the other not so nice things that have been happening recently. I suppose strings of bad news, but I think it's lovely to be here today to celebrate. And maybe we don't get enough opportunities to celebrate, so I think it's lovely to be able to take this opportunity now to celebrate with yourselves, because Donegal ETB is about you, it's about the learners, both older and younger learners, from first years right up to our adult learners. And it's about our wonderful, wonderful staff who work so hard all year to produce the wonderful outcomes that you see here today and to help. I was just saying to Fiona there, it's just fantastic the way the students are so well able to speak, to explain their projects. And I was thinking of myself as a 12-year-old many years ago, and thinking, would I have been able to stand in front of very stern-looking judges here who are all down in the front rows and deliver my piece about my project? And it's just fantastic. I was saying to somebody at lunchtime, my goodness, the future of our country is in really good hands. I don't think we need worry at all. And I know sometimes our young people get bad press, but I certainly would have to say wholeheartedly, this county, let's just talk about Donegal, the county is in safe hands. Our students, they're so innovative. The range of ideas here today is just fantastic. I'm not going to mention individual ones in case people think I've been having an influence with the judges or anything like it. They're all prize winners to me. All the entries are fantastic. The presentation, the way everything has been laid out, and the way the students have been able to present their ideas. It's just a wonderful opportunity, and it's a wonderful way to bring all our services together, because as you know, we have our 15 schools, and we also have our further education and training services. So it's really nice to have occasions when we can bring everybody here together. The singing was wonderful. Goramila mahi god go dog armschool koala tam inta brodul as an core. We had lovely singing last week in Greenon as well, and I know the schools were involved, and we had our staff choir as well. So these are lovely examples of the way we can, or as an organisation, influence things in the county. And I think as an education and training board, we're in a really good position to be able to influence the way our county is moving. And it certainly looks to be moving in the right direction, despite the roadblocks of Brexit and other things. But we're not going to think about those things today, because today is a day for celebrating. And I also, but before I look at this, I want to pay a really sincere debt of gratitude to Martin and his team. They just work tirelessly. They get on with the job. It just happens. And as you know, none of this would happen unless we had people who were really working hard behind the scenes. So Martin, to you and to your group, a sincere word of gratitude for the wonderful work that you do in pulling this together. It just doesn't happen out of nowhere. Goramila mahigi. There was a young lady from Deal giving out these cards. I don't know if you saw them, but I just saw this one and I thought, gosh, this really sums it up. Ability is what you are capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. And I think that really sums up today what today is about and what our organisation is about in our schools. So I wish everybody the best. I congratulate you all. You're all winners. And, well, I know there will be people who will be coming up receiving awards, but many, many congratulations to everybody. Goramila mahigi.
So what we're going to do now is start off the first category, and the first category is arts, culture, heritage and the Irish language. And the adjudicators, we had three very distinguished adjudicators there, put in a lot of service with Donegal ETB in the past. We had Rita Gleeson, principal of Mulroy College, former principal there. We had Paddy O'Connor, former principal in the Errigal, and we had Michael Hogan, who spent over 40 years, I think, teaching history in Deal College in Raphoe. So you can see a lot of expertise there, and just from talking to them, they said a lot of deliberations and hard to make a decision. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to present a certificate to each of the 6 projects. So what happens here is you're called out, and if you could make your way as quick as you can up to the podium here or up to the stand here, and we'll present a certificate there. So the first project, we had 6 projects in this category here. The first project is from Colasha Kinloan, which is our all-Irish second level school up in Buncrana. So if there's representatives from that, if they could come forward to receive their certificate, please. This is Turas Cultura agus Changoleachta. So Vian Gull Churcon Kin Gilliga Lan Ruddy via Shul and Sun Skull Rihan Blena. So what happened there was they were promoting Irish throughout the school. A number of initiatives happened in there. So that's Colasha Column Kinloan. Next up we had the Cultured Heritage Storybook project from Crana College, Buncrana. If we could have representatives from Crana College. This project was showcased, I think, was it Tuesday there, or Wednesday, I think, there in the library in Buncrana. Claire Bradley's the teacher involved with this particular group here, and it was a project that got funding from Donegal County Council on their Cultured Heritage. So that's the 3 students there from Crana College. Well done. The next project up is it's a shared project between 2 schools that were funded under Lergus. It's between Errigal College and Mulroy College. And what they did was it was a project working on the Titanic. So if they could come forward there, Errigal College and Mulroy College, if we could have a representative from each or so, we could come up, please. And there was a number of teachers involved in this project. Stephen Swinney and Kevin Houston there from Errigal. We also had Chloe Borland, Kelly Freel, Luke Barrett from Errigal also. So what happened there was the practical people kind of rode in and making the model with the students of the Titanic. That was Kevin and Stephen, while Kelly helped in terms of to burn some inscriptions on the actual boat itself, while Luke and Chloe were working on the actual history and stuff itself, while Chloe did some of the music for the Titanic. So, great project there. Next up, Finn Valley College, to the fallen songs and poems of World War I. So if we could have somebody up from Finn Valley College. This particular project... This particular project captured the spirit of World War I, and it did it through songs, poems, and some music and stories regarding World War I. And they put a CD, and I think there's 20 pieces actually on it. I know Sean Byrne sitting down there would have been the lead teacher and great interest in history, and he drove the project forward there in Finn Valley College. And I'm talking there to Master Wilson. He had a great in-depth knowledge of World War I and was very passionate. And he said it was very emotional from actually listening to the CDs and the stories that came out of that. Next up, we have Garmskull McDermott from Ironmore Island and their project Letterkenny and Burtonport Railway. I think often you attend a meeting in Dublin, and one of the first things I always say to you up in Dublin is, did you get the train? And I suppose it's hard to tell, it was the 1950s, like, or 60s, maybe, since there was a train in Donegal, you know, but I think what they did in Garmskull, McDermott did there, they tried to capture the railway and where it was and the route of it and the significant effect economically it had on the area. I think Mona Boner and Lisa Brennan would have been the teachers who would have been involved in that. Next up, we had Mayen College, and this is the Junket Chure project. So if we could have representatives from that. And this was one of the entries in the Junket competition, and it was looking at the dress and from talking to the students there, it was recycled paper that they used from old books and that, and they actually had flowers which made the dress. And they said they took their inspiration from an actual artist who actually created dresses out of real life flowers. So as long as you wouldn't be out on the dance floor and the flowers would wither, you'd be in a bother, I would say. But that was great there. So we had 6 there. So now I'm going to just announce the 3rd place and the 2nd place, and then the chief executive is going to reveal for us the winner in that particular category. So we had 6 projects there. I'll just read them out again. We had Colastic-Kinloan, Cranach College, Errigal College, and Mulroy together. We had Finn Valley College, Garmskull McDermott, and Mayen College. Now, so in 3rd place today at the 2018-19 annual awards in this particular category is Garmskull McDermott. So you can come forward. And that again was the railway project. So you picked a good one there, boys. Well done, well done. And I see some of the girls there too. So well done. And it's great the effort that it takes students coming off the island. We very much appreciate it there. We have a very vibrant school in Garmskull McDermott, and the students there were very passionate about the local area and how the route the actual railway took. So well done, Garmskull McDermott. Now, in 2nd place in this particular category, we had Finn Valley College and To the Fallen Songs of Poems of World War I. So again, I know a lot of work went into this project. In fact, Minister McHugh, the Minister for Education and Science, or Skills, sorry, I think it was one of his first engagements here in the county when he actually launched that in Finn Valley College, the actual CD. So well done to the boys there again, and I'm sure Mr. Thompson might be watching back in Finn Valley College, and again, proud of the students there. So I'm going to call on our Chief Executive, Anne McHugh, to reveal now who the winner in the Arts, Culture, Heritage and Irish Language category is.
Okay, Gromaigot Martin. So the winners of our first award this afternoon, Arts, Culture, Heritage and the Irish Language, is Cranach College.
So well done to Cranach again. That was the Culture Heritage Storyboard project. A lot of planning and effort went into that there. And in fact, I did receive an invitation to the particular launch of that myself. I know I see Emma Cooley there. Emma would have extended that, but actually, by the time I actually got it, the event had happened, so unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. But I said I would make it up to them at some other stage. So well done to Cranach College, first in the arts, culture, heritage, and the Irish language. So that moves us on to our second category here. And our second category is the further education and training category. And we have a number of projects there. In fact, we have 9 projects there. So first of all, the search in that category. The first one from the community education. Purpose, People, Process, Community Education in Donegal 2018. So if we could have a representative from that particular project. I see Catherine coming forward here. I think this project related to community education first was researched in the county in 2007, and this was a follow-up then in 2017, and it looked at how community education had progressed and made some recommendations around that. And I suppose we have a very strong community education lobby in the county at the minute, and it's a great way of getting people to engage, and then they have a pathway after that. Next up is the Donegal Adult Guidance and Information Service. This was the tick-the-box employability skills. So if we have somebody from that particular one, I see Deirdre and Rose. This was a great handbook that they put together, and I was looking at it there, and it just really did tick the boxes, as the title suggests. What it was involved in was a handbook there and setting out the different types of employability skills and how one should prepare when they're seeking employment and that. And it was a great sort of maybe one-stop shop to have everything in one place. Well done, ladies. Next up, we had the Donegal ETB Facebook video promo campaign. So we could have some representatives from that there. I think that... Good. That was the digital marketing class, I think, out in the training services there. And what they did was they put together a short video trying to promote digital marketing and the particular course to let people know what it was about and what was involved in it. Put it up on Facebook, and that did a lot of hits on it. And from that there resulted a lot of applications. So well done to the students there. And it's great to see students that are involved in the course actually promoting it then and using the learning from that there. So it was a good example there. Then we had the Further Education and Training Centre, Letterkenny. This was education through a different lens. The Leaving Cert class. Have we somebody from that here? Forward. The Leaving Cert class. Again, this was a project where the Leaving Cert class actually put together a little video of what was involved in the Leaving Cert and trying to promote it in terms of anybody considering taking on Leaving Cert at adult level. They did a visit to Green and Alia. They also did one to Glenveigh Castle and the Slimeskelp Mountain. And I think Holly Murray and Rosie McHugh would have been the teachers helping and supporting on that one there. Next up, we had the Further Education and Training Centre, Donegal Town, Recognition of Prior Learning, or PL. Have we somebody from that? Yes, I see Aidan here now. Good. Man, Aidan. An awful lot of work went into this project here, the recognition of prior learning, and the main focus of it was in Foyle, Donegal, which is Foyle Meats there in Carrigans. We had 188 workers there who got recognition for prior learning, and it involved a lot in terms of putting the portfolios together, etc. And there was a presentation then in the Inishowen area for that there. So well done to the RPL project there. Next up, we had the Further Education and Training Centre, Donegal, or Sternora rather, Inspiring Curiosity and Imagination. So if we have representatives from that. This was a lovely project, and from talking to the ladies on it, is what they were doing was they were trying to design stuff to inspire children. And certainly I got inspired by looking at it and finding out a little bit about it. I think that's the childcare class, which is in the Further Education and Training Centre in Sternora. The teacher there is Michelle Doherty, and the ladies there did a great job there in terms of getting stuff to inspire children. So well done. Now we have the Learning for Living in Donegal Town. This was the Tea in the Tunnel, if we have somebody from that. Okay, tea. I see Kathy Cassidy and Charlotte there. Well done. So from talking to Kathy and Charlotte there at the stand, what they did first of all was they saw an open space in Donegal town at the back of the centre, and what they did there was they set about growing things within the tunnel there. And arising from that there, they then had a very novel idea. I was talking to Jerry Ward on it there, he was telling me about a tea in the tunnel. So they invited people locally in and advertised it well, and it was a way of promoting the course, and I suppose also promoting the whole area of growing your own vegetables. Then we had Learning for Living in Inishowen. Make yourself at home. So I know we had there, that was, have we anybody from that? That was the refugees and the resettlement of refugees in the Inishowen area. I see some of them there. I'd say pay a very warm welcome to our refugee resettlement. Any of you that were walking around the stands there, you would have seen there's a number of goodies there that were given out there, some Syrian recipes and Syrian food. So, and this project is based in Carndonagh, and I suppose it's very much about we as an Irish nation reaching out and doing what we can to help people who ended up in an unfortunate situation. So, well done to the project there and all our friends. So then we have the next one is Letterkenny Training Centre, and this was, many of you will have seen the sculpture, probably is the best word for it, outside at the front. It's the stainless steel fixture there, which promotes Donegal ETB, and you can see it as you come into the centre. I arrived here about 8:30 this morning, and there was a lorry pulling in, and it was putting it out there and stuff. So I think we have some representatives coming forward now in relation to that. So that's Donegal ETB's interpretation of Newton's cradle. So well done, boys. I think what they did there was Newton had a number of spheres which he extended, and he had them oscillating, and they looked at that there, but they felt it was going in 3 dimensions there. So what they did, they changed it into discs rather than spheres, and did a great job on it there. Cathal McGee would be the tutor out there, and I know from talking to Cathal, he's passionate about welding in particular and stainless steel, and any of us that have any expertise in that way, if you want to check out the joints out there, they're absolutely first class. So well done, fellas, there in relation to that. So again, we have a 3-2-1, and I'm going to announce the third place first. And third place today, we have the Learning from Living in Inishowen, Make Yourself at Home. Third place. Here you go. So, well done. So, third place there for Inishowen, based in Carndonagh again. And I suppose Donegal ETB are the lead there, and we also work along with the Inishowen Partnership Company there, Colgan House and Falcha Inishowen. So there's a lot of different projects or different organisations involved in that there. So Donegal ETB helping in terms of refugee resettlement. In terms of, I suppose one of the things is language is one of the things. But I think the other thing is just to make people welcome and to make them aware of Irish culture and the sort of practice. And sometimes we have strange things we do in Ireland that other people might be aware of. And spot number 2 is the Further Education and Training Centre from Donegal Town, Recognition of Prior Learning. So now I'm going to ask our Chief Executive, Anne McHugh, to reveal who the winner of the Further Education and Training Award is.
Okay, thanks again, Martin. So our winners for the Further Education and Training sector is Donegal ETB's Facebook video promotion campaign. It's the training centre, I think. Well done.
So at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call on two of our chairpersons of our adjudicator panels. First of all, I'm going to call on Paddy O'Connor, who did the arts, culture, heritage and the Irish language, to say a few words about the projects then, followed by Bernie Mulhern then.
Hello, everybody. On behalf of my colleagues on the judging panel for the arts section there, they asked me to say that for the three of us, it was a real privilege to be asked to come in here today and to share in the achievements of the students, teachers and learning communities all over Donegal ETB. It was a terrific day. All judges say this. I'm going to get in first. Very difficult to separate the six, but particularly the top three. We're very impressed with the students who presented so confidently, so courteously, very articulate, very passionate about their topics and about their projects. That came across so strongly. Behind them, there was obviously a huge work and commitment of staff, teachers, SNAs. A lot of the topics a lot of the projects in our section still remain extracurricular. I know things are changing with the new junior cert and so on. So we do pay huge tribute to the time, the effort, the inspiration that's provided by the teaching staff and the SNAs in all our schools around the county. The winners were the winners, we thought, marginally, because we thought that it was obvious that there was strong evidence of a student-led project. And this will always come out in the interviews, and as well as being evident in the content and the display. And congratulations to Cranach College there for just winning through very marginally, but very deservedly. We've one little just note here that my fellow judges and I thought was important to mention. It would help us in the judging if there was evidence in the projects of some of the research and some of the rough work which maybe you might have discarded as not being fancy enough to put on display in the Radisson Hotel. But it would have helped us to see where the research and the early work led to the finished project. In conclusion, thank you again and congratulations to everybody on the day. Thank you.
I'm going to call on now, I suppose, the Further Education and Training panel, and that was Mary Donnelly, Noel Ryan, who, Mary, first of all, would be in Donegal ETB and would be involved there. We'd have Noel Ryan then, who would have been a former teacher in Deal College, and then we have Bernie Mulhern, of course, who would have been a former chairperson at Donegal ETB and would have been on the Board of Management of Abbey Vocational School, and also is on the LYIT Board of Governors. So I'm going to call on Bernie now just to say a few words from the Further Education and Training category, please.
Thank you, Martin. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Noel, Mary and myself, we were delighted to view this morning all the wonderful projects here and discuss them with all the participants. As usual, all the projects exemplified what is best and what is good about Donegal ETB. The wide variety of projects, the wide age group of people participating, it was really a joy and a privilege for us. And as Paddy said before, very, very difficult to make decisions and to pick one against the other. Our winner, the Digital Media and Sales Promo, they demonstrated a very collaborative approach, helping each other. It also transcended all age barriers. It contributed to upskilling and actually new career paths. And as we all know now, digital sales, online sales, marketing is the future. It's changing so rapidly. And it is great to see that that's recognised here by Donegal ETB, and that is why we picked it as our number one. But the other projects were fabulous, so well thought out, but as always, there has to be a winner. So thank you very much, and thank you for having the three of us as judges. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Great, Bernie. Short and sweet and to the point. Well done, Bernie. So we're moving on then to healthy living and well-being, and we had 4 adjudicators there. We had Sean O'Lungan, former Chief Executive with Donegal ETB, 33 years at the helm there. So he was chairperson of the panel. We had Michael Black, who is National Coaching Officer for Triathlon Ireland, and he's also a well-known athlete in Letterkenny and in Donegal. We had Christine McAleeney, who is our Drugs and Alcohol Coordinator with Donegal ETB. And then we had Eileen Maguire, who's a former homeschool community liaison teacher with service in Errigal College and Finn Valley College. And is also an athlete herself. I think she was down at the Masters there recently, I think, and took home a medal haul. So well-qualified team there in terms of healthy living and well-being. So we had 8 projects here, so we're going to just again call on people to come forward to receive their certificates, and we'll go through then the 3, 2, 1. So first of all up is Abbey Vocational School, our biggest school in the county, safe for Internet Day. So I think the student from the Abbey there put a little video together in terms of internet safety, and I actually was at the launch of that the day it actually happened in Donegal town. Geraldine Diver, the principal, would have invited me to that. It was led by Anya Cunningham, the teacher, and the students there. And I suppose it's a real issue in all our schools, is this internet safety and cyberbullying in particular, and that particular project addressed that there. And I know from looking at it, it certainly would make young people think about the internet and what they actually do. So next up we had the Adult Education Training Centre Donegal, A Healthier You. This was a marketing course there, and what they did there was they had a 10-week programme in terms of well-being and promoting a healthier lifestyle. Have we somebody, representatives from there? I saw them down the back here, yes? And I know Caroline Gillespie and Chronicare would have been involved in that one there in terms of helping the students along with that. Some of them actually completed the Cara 5K, and they also came up with different healthy recipes. I think on a Wednesdays now you get a healthier soup and everything in the Adult Education and Training Centre Donegal Town. I think Sarah in the kitchen, they've her roped in there in terms of doing work on that there. So well done to the students there. Next up, we have Collection of Carriga and the power of the student voice. I think we have a number of students here. And you can see Collection of Carriga well turned out in their blazers. I think from talking to them, Chloe McBrearty would be a student up there. That's the lady in the middle there. And she would have completed a number of TED Talks. So what happened there, I think, what was in the class, she talked about well-being and a positive person. And the teacher was so impressed with it then that she asked her to give a series of talks then in front of the student assembly, which is no mean feat in itself, standing up in front of a large crowd in front of your peers. So well done to the students there, in particular Chloe, for the work there. And I know Mr. David Doherty is with them today and encourage them along that path. Next up, we have Cranach College Green Week. So if we have Cranach College, are we there? And a great project there. I was speaking to the teacher, Paul McMonigal, helping along there. And I was very impressed with the names of the weeks they had. They named the 5 different days of the week. Making a Difference Monday, Trash Tuesday, Waste Wednesday, Try It Yourself on Thursday, and what do we see? And Fashion Friday. I think other people could rechristen Friday something else, maybe. So, well done to the students there in Cranach College. Then we had Deal College, Dealing with Your Wellbeing. So if we have students there from Deal College, yes. And this was a series of initiatives throughout the school, starting in first year there about improving students' well-being. And it's so important now, I think we all agree, and it's so important and an intrinsic part of our curriculum there. And the student body there were led by Tara Friel and Katrina Boner, who helped along with that project. And they also produced a CD at Christmas there, Making Your Dreams, having the right title of it, but it's something to that effect there. But there's a long list of songs in that there, very positive there, and a lot of good work going on. Well done to Dale. Next up, we had Errigal College, and Errigal College were planning and planting together. So this was an intergenerational project involving Errigal College and some of the maybe more, older people in the community, or maybe stalwarts in the community might be a more appropriate word there, where they worked together in terms of planting. And from talking to the students, what the students said, the older people shared the expertise and they did the labour, and what they did there was had gardens. But they said they learned a lot. But it's great to see an intergenerational project there around community gardens and stuff. Next up, we had Garmskull Cuala and Brat Arashia and Vishide Kirkon Wellbeing sa Skull. So well done to the students from Garmskull Cuala. And again, Aoife Dinash was project leader there in terms of a teacher to help to drive it on within the school, and they did a lot there. They had a well-being week. They had Orashtia 5K, Ras Orashtia 5K. I think they had a well-being then, or an internet safety day. So there are a whole lot of initiatives there. So that's the students or Nadalti as Garmskull Cuala. So well done, folks. Next up then, the final project with that was My End College, Physical Fitness in School. So My End College in Bundoran. So we'd have that. And again, this was a project about promoting a healthier lifestyle amongst the student body there, and a lot of little initiatives there and little encouragement there around recipes and diets and little bits of physical activity, and the need for mental health, also a positive mental health. And John O'Reilly there helped to guide the students along that path there. So that brings us that we've 8 projects there. We're now coming to the 3, 2, 1 in this particular category. And third place today, we have Cranagh College and Green Week. So that's our 3 students coming forward, and I saw big smiles there on both Claire Bradley and Paul McMonigal and Sinead Anderson there. So well done, folks. So great, that's well done to Cranagh on that. And then in second place, we had the Adult Education and Training Centre, Donegal Town, A Healthier You. So well done. So again, that was a well-being project there about promoting lifestyle and the importance of it. And when I was going around the stands just asking them, I was saying, well, is there any plans to embed it? And they say it's embedded already, and practices have changed and will continue to change. Because I think it's like everything with these initiatives. It's one thing having initiatives, it's the other thing trying to embed them and getting people to sustain that type of lifestyle there. So well done, folks. So now I'm going to call on our Chief Executive, Anne McHugh, to reveal the winner in this particular category.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So for this award, it's the Health, Living and Wellbeing section. The winners are Deal College. Well done.
So well done to Deal again. That's great to see the awards going out right throughout the county there. That's Deal College now. First place in the Healthy Living and Wellbeing category. And from talking to the ladies around the stand there, I think they would sell sand to the Arabs, as they would say. So no problem promoting the project there. And now I'm going to call on the chairperson of the Healthy Living and Wellbeing Committee, Shannon Lungan, just to say a few words regarding that particular category.
First of all, we'll try to keep fairly brief. We have a lot of categories. On behalf of my colleagues, Eileen, and congratulations, by the way, on the award for the seniors, Eileen. for Christina and Michael, we just want to say to you, thank you for being here. Thank you for the 8 schools and centres, 1 centre, 7 schools, who submitted entries. Gormahig Garmskull Kola or in Canistach and Gaigufian and G-Sport the father again Asqualia is Brian Shin. Everybody says, of course, it was hard to make a decision. We found that our 3 top spread over 4 marks. Came down so close. So we see that in first, second and third. The one part that impressed us so much about Rafo was the students were 5th year, 2nd year and 1st year. And it spread across, and the continuity that you would have there we expect from that. And that was what shaded the edge. On the other hand, in Donegal town, you saw the work that was done by all of the adult learners there. A tremendous competition. We were honoured to be there. It's so fashionable, but it's so realistic. And the one we were looking for is, where's continuity? And we would make a comment, if we don't mind saying this, that legacy would be, we would rate it higher than 10%, would be an observation we would have in such projects, because continuity is the key. We would have it, well, we'd be talking about maybe equal with the content, etc. But that's just maybe for another day. Maybe there's differentiation to be done. Again, good mean how give a fad, done a dinio Christa, Folam Marie Christa Lob, done a Monchori, Agus banished the Skellan and the Honage, how Cower go come by, Agus reached Colgorgicus, Lesson ETB, as Allah Shah, Allah Chamor Shah, ever foil. And I would say to people as well, say a prayer for a former chairman of the VC tomorrow, Desi Larkin.
So I would add to the comments of Sean there. I think Councillor, or former Councillor Larkin was a former chairperson of Donegal ETB, and he had a great interest in education and would have served as chairperson of our committee. I would have been involved in a number of presentations in the past. So I suppose our thoughts and prayers are very much with his wife Mary and his 4 children. So Desi will certainly miss you. Next up, we have the, and again, thanks to Sean there. I think that's the briefest I've ever seen Sean. so great. So I can say that now he hasn't the microphone anymore. Safe enough. So we're then on to the innovation, creativity and enterprise category. And again, we had 7 projects there. The first one actually was from the Abbey Vocational School Growth, but they're actually entered in an enterprise competition, so they couldn't actually present here today. They did send their apologies because there was a clash of dates around that there. So that, I don't know if there's any students from that project Growth here. Is there representatives? No, so we can, are we okay in that? Yeah, so that's the Growth one there. So then the second project in that category was Deal College, and this was Clean Guard. And this was, so if we have representatives from the Clean Guard project. I think this was a project involving gum shields, wasn't it, and GA matches and stuff, and the cleaning of them and the hygiene around that, and they made out a little pack there and stuff. So the next time you see their GA match and the gum shield falls out, they'll have to get out the Clean Guard kit before they put it back in. So well done, ladies, in that there. So it's just a need that they identified in the market and they went for it. So that was Clean Guard. Next up, we had Finn Valley College. And this was patent pens. I'm not sure if James is back here, is he? Is he back? Oh, yes, here he is now. It's Mr. Patton from Finn Valley College. And he's bilocating today because he was out in the Silver Tassie, was it, at an enterprise event, so he was shuttled in and out here and trying to spread the wings. He didn't want to put all his eggs in one basket. He wanted to make sure he did both. But a great project there involving... The project involved making pens out of natural woods and acrylics and stuff, so great to see a bit of enterprise there. Next up, we have Garmskull Cualu. Agus Tone the Holly. Is that, have we somebody there from Garmskull Cualu? Yeah, we have indeed. Yeah, good. And this project has been on the circuit this last couple of weeks there in terms of making baguettes out of recycled paper and that. And they won some national competitions, or they're entered in national competitions now. And they've done a lot of work within the school there, looking at the amount of paper that is recycled and trying to recycle, and they've done some research on if we did it in all our centres and schools in Donegal ETB. I would have met this group actually, first of all, up in Errigal College at the Christmas fair where they were promoting their project there. So they've well prepared and have put in a lot of work with it. And Seamus O'Farry and Mucher Listen Group of Shin. So that's great work going on there in Garmskull Cuala. Next we have Garmskull Vicdermid Busy Bee Blankets. So if we could have representatives from Garmskull Vicdermid. That's Clara Ferry and Ciara Sharkey, is it? Yes, indeed, it is, yeah. And they were looking at, I suppose, Alzheimer's and the number of people that have Alzheimer's. And what they were trying to do was replicate maybe some sort of a comfort blanket for patients suffering from Alzheimer's. And had a number of things there, just, I suppose, initiatives there around that there. So well done on that. Then again, we had another project from Garmskull Vicdermid, Wild Atlantic Water Safety for Kids. And so if we could have them forward. And the group actually compiled a booklet on water safety for young people, and they had it in Irish and English. And some great illustrations in it, and I went round the stand talking to them, and I must say it's something that all schools should look at there, because there was a lot there from the water safety point of view, and they had it in an actual story. So it was very well done, and some great illustrations. I think, was it Lara? You were in charge of the illustrations, was it? Laura, yes, Laura. So well done in relation to that there. That's the Wild Atlantic Water Safety for Kids. And the final project we have up is My End College Wild Atlantic Dressing in this category. And this is... And this is Susan Gallagher. Susan's a student in my end college, and what she did was she came up with a salad dressing there and a mixture of various ingredients. And she tells me she works in the Waves restaurant in Bundoran, so if you're passing there, she's marketing it there. So if you want a bottle of it there, so a real entrepreneur there. So well done, Susan. So we now have our 3-2-1. So in third place today at the Donegal ETB Annual Awards in the Innovation, Creativity and Entrepreneurship category is Garmskull Cuala agus Tunda Thully. So a lot of work went in there in terms of producing the paper briquettes there around, I suppose what it is all about energy and recycling and that there. So well done, ladies, in relation to that there. So you can see a lot of lovely smiles there along with our chief executive now from the 4 students. Well done. And in second place we have our entrepreneur from my end college, Susan Gallagher, Wild Atlantic Dressings. So well done again to Susan there, a project on her own and a bit of entrepreneurship, okay? And now I'm going to call on our Chief Executive to announce the winner in this category here.
Okay, Martin. So for innovation, creativity and entrepreneurship, this award goes to Garmskull Vicdermid, Wild Atlantic Water Safety.
So well done to Garmskull Vicdermid. Great stuff. And again, a lovely booklet with lovely illustrations and bilinguals. And not alone would you learn a lot about water safety, you'd also learn a lot of language there because you have the Irish and English side by side or turned around. So there's a lovely project there. So now I'm going to call on the chairperson of this particular category. We had a number of adjudicators there. We had Frank Quinn, the former administrator with Donegal ETB. We had Paul McGuckin, who is LOYIT and is a lecturer there. And then we had Oliver Hart, who's a former training officer with Donegal ETB Training Services. So the chairperson is Paul McGuckin, who's going to say a few words around that. So thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Martin. And thank you to the students who allowed us to take part in their wonderful morning. It was a very exciting morning. It was different. Really, really enjoyed it. So on behalf of my colleagues, Frank and Oliver, I would first of all like to thank the ETB, on behalf of the students, for giving you the opportunity to come along and develop skills that we know our local businesses need. Those transferable skills, this has been mentioned, this is an opportunity for you at a very, very young age to develop these skills. So that's very important to recognise the effort that they've made. And also your teachers in your schools. The easiest thing often is to do nothing. But they've taken the time, the effort, and many of that is out of hours. So they've given you an opportunity to learn skills. And as we talked to the groups as we went around this morning there, we could see that that had developed. So there was a number of things that we could see coming through. So it was great to spend the morning with you and having the opportunity to discuss your ideas. Fantastic ideas. We wanted to congratulate the groups on their level, their high level of, and we're very impressed by their marketing and sales strategies. Some of the groups, all of the groups have put an effort in, they have actually sold something. I used to work in sales. I know how difficult that is. So you've come up with an idea, you've brought it to fruition, you've put it on the market, you've got customer feedback, and you've sold it. That is a tremendous thing. That is a tremendous thing, and industry needs that. All other things, we're planning ideas, idea generation, your level of teamwork for the groups that had teams involved, and you learn those skills, that skill of collaboration that our industry needs. Some of the groups that I came across there was confidence, and that was the final point I'll make here. How your confidence increased through this process, and that's important because I see it. I teach in I lecture in LYIT, and I was discussing it with Frank and Oliver, the groups that we had looked at, and I said, for the 6 groups that we saw this morning, I'd be very happy to get you as my second-year marketing assignments. If you submitted that to me, I'd be delighted with that. And they said I should share that with you because you're a lot younger than them. You haven't had the life experience of them. You haven't had the teaching necessary that they've had at that level, but you're already at that level. So it's about building that confidence, learning as you go along, so I congratulate them on that. And like the other groups, we had to pick a winner, and it was very close, and we really enjoyed the process of meeting and talking with you. But the winner, sometimes in industry and enterprise, we think it's about sales, and that's obviously very important, but the idea that they brought forward and the way they presented it, bringing forward the language, but the important public safety message of swimming and water safety. So they took a slightly different approach. They did it really, really well. All the groups were very good. But the way they packaged it and pulled it all together in the discussions with us, we felt that they were a worthy winner. To the rest of you, you were very, very close. And I tell you, if you come to me in a few years' time in LYIT, I'll be delighted to work with you on those projects. So thanks again for the opportunity. Congratulations.
I think those words from Paul are very encouraging for both students and staff of Donegal ETB. Paul lectures in the Letterkenny Institute of Technology, so he does say that he has said there that the standards here are very high, and it's sort of the stuff that he would be looking for at third level. So you're certainly well ahead of the race there, any of you that are involved in that there in terms of the project. So great to hear that, and thank you for that, Paul. So the next category then is the STEM category, science, technology, mathematics and engineering, and we had 4 adjudicators there. We had Frank Dooley, former principal in Finn Valley College. We had Fiona Ní Crampshy, former Prefect Garmskull Kualu. We had Cathal Green, former principal in Mulroy College. And then we had Jeffrey Brown, who's president of the National Parents Association and also is a member of Donegal ETB and chairperson of the Board of Management in Abbey Vocational School, as well as another few groups, I think the Teaching Council and the NCCA, and I could go on. But right, so we have quite a bit of expertise there. So just the 4 projects there we had in that particular category. The first one is Abbey Vocational School, and if we could have the Rubik's man up, the Rubik's Cube Solver. This is young Huey McShane, a first-year student. Is it Huey? First year? Is it Huey? first year at the Abbey Vocational School, and you can see there what he did there with the Rubik's solver and the puzzles around that. And from talking to him, I says, "Do you think will you study computer science at Leavenscert?" He says, "Oh, certainly." He says, I'm going there. So well done, Hughie, there in terms of putting that project together. Next up, we had another young solo run there from Oisín Farn from Colashally. Is Oisín there? Yes, good man, Oisín. So. And Oisín's project was around climate change and people's awareness of it and what they actually were doing about it. And he found a correlation between if you were aware of it, that you were more inclined to change your practice. And I think Oisín got first prize at the BT Young Scientist exhibition in the Irish category, and I think he received second then in his individual category there. So well done, Oisín. Next up, we have Deal College, and this was an investigation into the meaning, uses and effects of unconscious bias in modern society. And I suppose we could all be guilty of that there. So if we go up here now, Deal College. And this is Isaac Stowe and Connor Wilson, I think. Right, 2 projects. Have I got the names right, boys? Yes, good. Again, represented Deal College very well at the BT Young Scientists exhibition are along here today, and from talking to them again, it was great to see the research they'd done and how they were able to articulate that there. So that's our 4 projects in that particular category. Have we one? Who's that? Mayen? Oh, sorry, Mayen. Right, yes, sorry. Mayen College, and this was My Wi-Fi. And this was an investigation. What they did was they compared it if you had the microwave oven on in the corner and the strength of the Wi-Fi signal in your house. So to the young people there, if your Wi-Fi's dipping and mommy or daddy has the microwave on, get them to switch it off straight away. Because they found, I think it was a 95% reduction or something to that effect from talking to the 2 boys. That's Oisín and Aaron there. So again, great project there. Well done, boys. And sometimes you'd wonder how these boys think of the correlation between the microwave and the Wi-Fi, you know. So in 3rd place then, we have Colashally, and that's Oisín Farn. If Oisín Farn's there for 3rd place. So well done to Oisín there. Good man. Oisín's a student at Colashally. Right. I think his brother Donald would have been here before, I think. So well done. So next up we have then is the winners, or the 2nd place then. And the 2nd place in this particular category is the Abbey Vocational School, Donegal Town, and the Rubik's Cube solver. So Hughie McShane there, the 1st-year student again. Well done, Hughie. And now I'm going to call on our Chief Executive to reveal the winner in this particular category.
Okay, thank you, Martin. And the winner of the Science, Technology, Maths and Engineering group is Mayen College, My Wi-Fi. Well done.
So well done to Mayen there again. And that again was the study of the microwave. So well done, boys. And I'm going to call now on Fiona and Cramsey to say a few words on behalf of the adjudicators panel in the STEM category.
Good Martin. Mar dúirt Martin in Chan Vicera Chanscnaf and San Ranach Shaw, agus Truraku Shan Visha the Merla can a winning Gaelic, agus dúirt the Maltary dúst go one much a leg layer and some agus Antarva as an upper Togudun na Janu. Agus an Darna Rod no hug much malu more fasted on a munchery as an upper and in shades and reached agus Ristella exturu agus a kaju agus ektroru nanalti. So thank you for a very, very enjoyable experience. This is my first time at Malteract adjudicating at such an event. While we said that the teachers are so important, yes, to these competitions, the students are, of course, central to the whole thing. And in this case, we were very, very impressed by the extent of the knowledge of the students in relation to their chosen topic. So we were, as I say, blown away by it, really, by the high standard that was involved here. And Martin mentioned passionate several times earlier on, and that was the one thing that came through. Each and every one of these students was passionate about what they were doing and what they had found out and what they might possibly continue to find out later on. So well done to everybody, as I say, involved. Now, the presentations were excellent. The displays were beautifully done. The structure and the scientific approach was all excellent as well. And we've talked about the confidence building and so on, and I've attended numerous occasions back in the past. I've attended the Young Scientist competition, and I've said earlier in conversation to people today, when we went to the competition first, people would approach us, other students, and they would come along and they'd say, "Can I explain to you about my project? Would you like to see my project?" And I and my students were quite taken aback, because we were so shy about speaking in public and about presenting the knowledge that the students had gained. So that has changed, thankfully, and it's largely due to days like this. So thank you very much to the ETB for coming up with this showcase for all the work that the students are doing in the schools, and for allowing the teachers and the students, as I say, to present. So we had a difficult job to do, because, as I say, they were all of a very high calibre, but we had a number of former science teachers, myself included, and I suppose what we looked at was how rigorously they dealt with it as a scientific project. And as I say, the students were able to see themselves, that there were weaknesses in some cases, or they could see how they could continue on with the project into the future, and what they might do differently. And that's what science is all about. It's all about inquiring and investigating and coming up with results and pushing it further all the time. So for that reason, as I say, we chose Myena as a very good example of a rigorously developed scientific project. So well done to Myena and their microwave project. So thank you to everybody, and long may you continue to inquire and to investigate. Gormaigh.
Thank you, Fiona. So I want to congratulate all students and to thank you for participating in the Donegal ETB Awards. And it's not about, say, the 3-2-1. It's really about the participation. It's about the experience, and it's about what you learn from the experience. And we might refer to it as winners. I think every project is a winner here today, and thank you so much for putting in that work. So well done to you all, students. So give yourselves a round of applause. I would also like to pay tribute, and I'd like to acknowledge the help of the staff, teaching staff, SNAs, management, and everything that makes a day like this happen. It just doesn't happen. Students shows up with lovely work and able to talk about it. There's a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, a lot of guidance by teachers, by in terms of what needs to be said, communications, imparting skills, expertise. So I would like the students and adult learners to show their appreciation for all the staff in Donegal ETB that were involved in this. Thanks. The other people I would like to thank is our panel of adjudicators. It's not easy to make decisions, and from talking to them, they would have all said that there. Small marks separating projects, and some people will go away disappointed, others will go away elated. But please don't. The adjudicators do their best. They come along here, and we're delighted that they give their time and share a marking scheme and expertise around that there in discussion. So thank you for coming along and contributing today. Without this, without yourselves, we couldn't do it. So well done, and thank you. The other important group that I, as chairperson, need to refer to, and I think that make this day happen, is the organising committee. I chair the organising committee, but my job is very, very easy because I have a great team behind me, and I really sincerely mean that. It's like clockwork, things happen, and instead of me chasing them, they chase me. So I think that's always a good sign. So first of all, I would like to thank the organising committee of Fiona Temple, Danny McFadden, Johnny Sweeney, Charles Gurney, Brenda Boyle, Martin McGinley, and Liz Potter, as well as, I think, somebody who really, really has put in a lot of work behind the scenes in making this happen administratively, and that's our very own Claire Houston. So thank you, Claire. And I'm going to call our Chief Executive, Anne McHugh, to make a small presentation of flowers to Claire in recognition of her contribution to this day. Because all the booklets that went out to judges with the preparation of the projects, all that has been done for Claire, invitations, the stands, you know, looking after, making sure meetings happen and that there. So well done, Claire, and thank you for that. I'd also like to thank Reynolds Raffo and DNK Media and John McConnell here on our photography, and the Radisson Hotel, who have helped in partnership to make things run smoothly. The people also who helped us with our stands there, thank you for that. And then again, for our Chief Executive for coming along today. She made sure she kept the day free. She had a lot on in the morning between one thing and another, but she made sure she was here for this here in order to deliver our awards and to present them there. And I know that she's very committed to what is happening here. So what I would say to staff and students, particularly, first of all, students, you have exams coming up now ahead of you now. And it doesn't matter if you're in first year, you're in sixth year, or you're an adult learner, you have exams coming up. And what I would say to you is, you know, make yourself a study plan, you know, put the head down. If education is carried so lightly, and anybody that you talk to, if you talk to adults here today, the first thing they'll say to you is, I should have given it a better shot the first time round, right? But they've got a second chance. For those of you who have the first chance, make the most of it, right? Make the most of it. We have good teachers. They guide you, they listen to you. Remember what I said at some educational institutes about us and them. With us in Donegal ETB, we like it to be about the we. We together in terms of your future, your education. So what I would say to you today is, thank you for coming along. I hope you learned something from it. Use the skills, use the experience to drive yourself forward. And go to Mila Michael and safe home to everybody now. Thank you.